And my name is Tyson Schmitt. Live in Kansas and work in the financial services industry. Have three young kids between 2 and 8. Married to my wife Ashley for 15 years. Um, been living in Kansas most of my life. Lived in Omaha, Nebraska, and also in Dallas, Texas, for a little while. In that time, just really love spending time in the outdoors. We go down to a lake in Kansas and do a lot of fishing and boating and things like that. And then really anytime that I have some time to get away, just love to go out and see new beautiful places, photograph and video. Obviously love to fish and just experience nature any way I can, see the places that you see on TV and just go see them for yourself. So that's really what drives me to do the trips. And really just the reason I go solo is just for the overall natural experience, and out of necessity. It's hard to find people that want to go, so or that have the time to go and can match around. So I'm happy to just jump in my truck and drive for 15 hours and end up at a trailhead and start hiking in and spend a week doing it. So I was just trying to find a way to and get a deeper experience, a more, I guess you'd say, rugged experience into the wild. I've always been a big fisherman, and we do flying trips to Canada and Minnesota and places like that. And obviously that is an adventure in itself, but you're still staying in lodges and motorized boats and got all the amenities that you're used to. So I just kind of took a jump and decided I was gonna try to just go at it by myself. Put together just the basics of camping gear, cheap packs and anything I can get my hands on, and did a lot of research, and figured it out. Ended up doing my first solo was a 7-day trip to the Boundary Waters in northern Minnesota. Rented a canoe, and really everything else I self outfitted. A lot of stuff I learned I didn't need, but I was able, certainly had everything that I needed, and just had a really unique experience. It was, I had the opportunity to see a lot of animals that I wouldn't have normally seen if I would have been with other people. Got to see, moose, hear wolves. Well, just really unique experience, and I just could really feel the advantages of going on a trip like that solo, as opposed to a trip that I've always done with at least one other person, if not multiple people. So it's just a completely different and unique experience, and I just don't think you can capture that when you go with other people. I mean, there's times where you wish that someone was there to enjoy it with you occasionally, when you catch that big fish or have that unique experience or see something beautiful. But at the same time, as long as you have your camera with you, you can share that later. So I feel like that's kind of the best of both worlds for me. That's a good question. Gosh, I think, it's part of it is, when you're spending so much time to plan a trip and looking at pictures and looking at places on the map and things like that, and then actually like having that, actually being there and actually seeing it for yourself is definitely something special. Definitely something special. It's just it's like almost like a dream, or like almost surreal to see it with your own eyes after spending so much time thinking about it and planning about it and wondering what it was going to be like. That's probably one of the neatest experiences about it. Yeah, my favorite season really to do any of these trips is in the fall, at least for the places that I truly like to go, especially either northern Minnesota or Wyoming, Montana, Colorado. Leaves are changing. Um, the weather is usually fairly predictable. Um, September is a really good time, I feel like, to go into the mountains or up north. So if I could pick any month out of the year, September would definitely be that. Bugs are usually gone or not so bad, and that's big. I like the shoulder seasons. Once summer comes along, I don't do a lot of camping, at least not in the Midwest. If I can go up to the mountains, I'll definitely keep going. But yeah, definitely fall. I have ran into or had a few different encounters with animals. Nothing dangerous or life threatening, fortunately. But yeah, I've ran into moose on multiple occasions. Um, Seen wolves or seen a wolf, heard wolves. No serious bear encounters yet, but what I do, I always have bear spray with me. Really anywhere I go, even where bears aren't really a threat. It's kind of a way to protect yourself um, in certain situations. But yeah, I've had some animals run by my tent in the middle of the night that were definitely good size. When I was in Montana, definitely had a large animal, not of the hoof variety, so definitely something that was probably a pretty good sized predator run by my tent. And then I've also had what I believe was a moose just blast by my tent in the middle of the night in Wyoming too, and that was definitely scary. But yeah, fortunately, I've never had any experiences where I felt threatened or scared outside of just being woken up in the middle of the night and having that feeling, that moment of fear before it passes. So I do a lot of fishing. Definitely one of my favorite things to do is fish. In addition to that, I've definitely gotten more and more interested in photography. We have a house out in the Flint Hills in Kansas on a lake, and so that's where I do the majority of my fishing nowadays, especially just with limited time. And it's really scenic. It's a pretty area, and so I just spend a lot of time out there. I'll do astrophotography and take pictures of the stars. It's really dark out there, so it's a nice place and it's quiet to just spend time. So I do a fair amount of photography out there, and yeah, and the fishing's great, and just boating and things like that. So just anything we can do outdoors is what we try to do. So it's crossed my mind before. I have a lot to learn. I definitely consider myself an amateur. I'd like to get better, definitely better at photography and video as well. Just watching what you do actually definitely inspires me to want to, just learn more about thinking about that. But definitely as I've done more and more videos, things like that, I'm always watching a movie now and I'm thinking, oh man, I bet that was, I think I know how he shot that. And, I know how tough that is to shoot, and, yada, yada, yada. So it definitely like changes your mind as far as how you watch a movie or, watch a scene or things like that. But yeah, I would love to at some point in my time or in my life, if I could do that on even like a semi part-time, traveling and photography and videography and things like that. If I could, somehow make that something, that I could make maybe not a career, but just a bigger hobby, I would love to do something like that. Yeah, a good question. Yeah, I haven't really tried to, grow it from like promote it and do things like that. Really just doing it more to personally document, special times in my life that, 20, 30 years down the road, I can look back and be like, oh, that was cool. Just something to look back when I can't hike a mountain anymore or do some of the things that I'm able to do right now. So that was really my thought process behind it. As my videos are developing and getting a little bit better, it'll, a little more watchable for the average viewer. Um, I would love it if I put a video up and, many people commented it on it and asked me questions like how I did that, what kind of equipment I'm using, things like that. I think honestly, that's just fun to me to talk about this kind of stuff. So if that developed, that would at this point, that's about as far as I can see it right now. But yeah, I mean, if people show interest in the videos that I'm doing, and I get a little following, and I mean, I'd love to grow the channel and just kind of see where it can go. Well, because you invited me, of course. No, no. Yeah, I got your email, and at first I was like, what is this? All right, I'll check it out. And it took me a little while to get back to you, because I just kind of wanted to scope it out and see what it was. But I was watching the trailer, looked amazing. The concept seemed amazing. So it's like, well, I'm already doing this. Why not? Why not? I don't know. I'm not doing anything super exciting in my life right now. I'm just doing what every most people are doing in their lives right now, raising kids, working, paying bills, things like that. I was like, why shouldn't I try this? I mean, what a cool opportunity. Whatever comes of it, why not give it a shot and go for it? And again, it's what I like to do for hobbies. So and to have your skills as far as building these trailers and building these videos, after seeing the trailer that you created, I'm extremely excited to see what you can do with the full footage and everything. So yeah, I'm really excited to be a part of it and see all the other participants. I've been enjoying the videos that I've watched so far, and I think I've subscribed to all their channels too, and enjoying watching all their stuff as well. So